Welcome back to the Sports Desk, everybody. I am your host with the most, Splash or Ryan or whatever the heck you want to call me. I am joined, as always, with Jack. I did the right direction this time, even though you can't see my thumb. And we got Stefan down below. How's it going, guys?
Not bad. A little bad weather here in Florida, but otherwise not too bad.
It's really hot over here. Thankfully, my room is pretty cool. But yeah.
Love to see it. You know what else is pretty cool? A certain Josh Allen, 6 years, $258 million. That's $43 million per year. That's only $2 million a year off of Patrick Mahomes. What were your guys' instant reaction when you saw that?
I was surprised, but then again, I sat there, did the numbers, and I'm like, okay, you know what? It makes sense because what Mahomes does is he sets a different record for a contract. So everyone, it's like a market. Who's the first one to sign this guy before the next guy gets a raise? So Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, they're in for a higher payday. Just slightly, if not, but it's just going to be getting higher and higher every year.
For sure.
I think he earned it based on the way he played last year. But I think we kind of realized that Josh Allen has sort of been building up to this over the years. He was, I don't want to say mediocre, but he wasn't really the top of the list in terms of QBs when it came to his first couple years in the NFL. And then he's sort of been working up towards where he was last year. Last year he was in the MVP conversation. So I think we can say this is truly an earned deal that he got if he can keep this up and stay consistent to the way he played last year. And he's the funny thing about last year too is that he didn't have the usual offseason that many NFL teams did. He had the crazy COVID offseason. He had all the social distancing with training camp and stuff like that. I don't think the lack of preseason really affected him because obviously he doesn't play in the preseason because he's a starter, but you get what I mean.
Yeah, and I think the first thing that jumped out to me was that Buffalo is getting out in front of this, and they know as well as anyone that Josh Allen has one awesome year. He has two pretty bad years and one awesome year. So you have a very high risk there that if Allen regresses and he's not, a top 3, top 4 quarterback again, you're paying him $43 million a year. But they also know, what if he's better? He's shown progression. He was awful in 18, not very good in 19, and then awesome in 2020. If he's even awesome again, $43 million is a bargain, right? And I think Buffalo did an awesome job of making sure they got out in front of Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, and saying, we're going to set the market, and we are confident enough in our guy that we're going to pay him $43 million, so we're not going to get influenced by what Cleveland does or what Baltimore does. And if it hits, it's going to look like a steal. If it doesn't hit, now Buffalo's in trouble. So, yeah, Buffalo could be in trouble. Very high risk, high reward here, though. And I would argue that Allen is probably the safest bet of the 3 quarterbacks worth a payday, even though he only has the one season. So it's one of those weird situations that he's perhaps the most reliable. Moving forward, next 10 years, I think most people would say Allen's going to be the best of the 3. But he's also proven the least. Lamar has 2 great seasons. Baker has 2 great seasons. All 3 of them were pretty good in 2020. Of course, Allen took a step ahead of them. But then again, Lamar had an awesome 2019 season. Baker had an awesome 2018 season. And there is reason to believe that Allen might take a statistical dip. But I think Buffalo's capitalizing on that. If Allen's really good again, and there's a solid chance he is, there's a solid chance he's MVP candidate, the Bills make a deep run in the playoffs, yada, yada, yada. They don't want to pay him $50 million. They don't want to pay him more than Mahomes because they know that the odds of him being better than Mahomes, it could happen, but you want to get out ahead of that. And I think it was really impressive, really impressive to see that the wherewithal of Buffalo to say, hey, let's go lock down our guy. We spent a top 10 pick on him in the first place. He's been awesome for the city, and you're just progressing. Every year there's an extra step. So we don't know when that ladder is going to end, but whenever it does end, Buffalo wants to be in that spot that Josh Allen is underpaid, not overpaid.
Yeah, it's exactly. Because like you said, Josh Allen might not have been the most statistical quarterback when it came to previous years, but this year he showed in Buffalo when he has the character to be in Buffalo. He proved to us that this year he could be the guy who throws for almost 50 combined touchdowns. Like this guy was just a nightmare to watch on the legs passing it. So at the end of the day, they know what they get with him. They want to sign him early, like you said. It's smart by Buffalo, and honestly, now it's up to the other two to see if they can be just as smart as Buffalo, or maybe have to pay that price that they don't want to pay.
For sure.
High risk, high reward.
Exactly.
And before we move on, I have some huge news. If you guys want to support the channel, you want to support us, you want to support Timeout, the Dolphins crew, Packers crew, whatever it may be, you can now do so by donating through super chats. So you can, pick an option on your phone. $5, $10. $1 is nice.
Anything is nice, really.
Yeah, anything. We're very grateful for it. Your chat pops up in a new color. It's going to stay at the top of the screen. We are kind of forced to answer it, although we do try to answer every question in the chat. So yeah, if you're interested in donating, we are more than happy. And we're also going to start up a Venmo. So if you want to hit us up directly and you don't want this guy paid $10 to their stream. What a low life. Hey, if you want to do it anonymously, we're going to have a Venmo set up in the next week or two. So thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for letting us be able to do this and earn money off our sports takes, right?
We appreciate it, seriously.
No, yeah,
it means a lot.
Without fans, we've got nothing. So
Yeah. It's like the NFL season last year. Without fans, you have no defense.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's
even though our defense is ranked number 1 in the league, but that's a story for another time.
What a lad!
Oh,
there it is. There it is. Right there.
Good
Thank
stuff,
you,
Peyton.
Appreciate that.
We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias. We need to have some sort of ritual if we get a super chat.
We need to have confetti falling off the screen or something.
Yeah. Jack, can you program that to?
I don't know, but we can figure something out.
Yeah, we just make an alternate background. That's confetti falling. Oh, actually, instead of some of the green and the dark grays, right? Have it random colors.
Like rainbow, pretty much.
Yeah, rainbow
that,
confetti colors. That would be really cool. So thank you, Peyton. Glad to have you here. If you have any questions for us, make sure you just drop a comment and we will answer them during the course of our show.
Speaking of the course of our show, I think we should move on. Do we want to talk about the Hall of Fame game really quick?
It was ugly.
It was very much preseason football, I guess is what I'm going at. We saw a very, I know if Austin's listening, he's going to love this, a very on-brand kick from Sam Sloman.
Oh my God.
Oof. Brutal.
What was the final score? 13-3.
It was 16-3 Pittsburgh. I bet on the game. Let me be the first to acknowledge that betting on a preseason game was pretty stupid. I'm the first to admit that. After the game, I looked myself in the mirror and said, Ryan, you bet on Ben DiNucci. You should have just thrown those 65 cents into the garbage can. Yeah, there was at one point late in the fourth, maybe halfway through the fourth, Dallas had a 4th and 12 on their own 20, right? It's 9-3. You're losing. You have Ben DiNucci at quarterback. Punt the ball, forced stop, and then you get the ball, in better field position. These clowns on 4th and 12 went for it. Ben DiNucci missed a throw, and I'm just thinking, oh, there goes my money, Are you actually having a laugh? Are you actually having a laugh, Ben DiNucci? With that said, no more sports betting for me until week 1.
Please don't bet on a preseason game again. It was very much a preseason game. I'm trying to remember the punter's name from Pittsburgh. I think it was who.
Presley Harvin.
Yes.
Yeah, Presley Harvin. 7th round
imagine
pick.
That's how you know that it's a preseason
punter.
game.
Oh, he's jacked.
He's going to have a nice hit going. I guarantee you sometime in this season, he's going to have one of those hits that you're going to be like, oh, and then we're going to come back to this film and go, this guy's jacked.
So oh, my goodness.
Frankie.
Okay. Actually, Frankie, let me raise you one. Zach Wilson is already better than Lamar Jackson.
Ooh.
Beat the cornerback for the Jets.
Oh.
Boom, 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 boom. So we both win. So with that said, thank you for the donation.
Thank you, Frankie.
Shout out to Big Boss Man up there. Hopefully we don't have to do any more of this remote stuff. Hopefully we can get that nice office in New York.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're right, Tixa. Oh right. I wonder if he typed this out before I said beat Jets cornerback. So, anyways, thank you for the donation, Frankie. Thank you, Peyton, as well. So,
Bottom line, like I was saying, it's a preseason game when a punt is the highlight of the night.
Oh, that was
that was a fantastic punt too, by the way. That was incredible. So.
Oh, okay. So I know Jack's feelings about punters because he loves his boy Hecker. Stefan, what's your are punters people as well?
Okay. Punters are people. You know why? And I'll tell you why. Mm-hmm. I was a long snapper in high school.
Oh, nice.
So, yes, punters are people. And when you see a punt like that, and it's a preseason game, but you know what? In the regular season, we saw New England do it against Pittsburgh when they had 3 guys diving in the end zone and spot the ball on the 1-yard line. That backspin, it's a technique that not too many people can have, but the ones that do have, it's special. It's not a quarterback special, but it's enough to help your team out, pin them deep. I've seen so many of New England special team punts that were just so perfectly out at the 5, out at the 7, and just punters are people.
Sure.
Long snappers are seriously underappreciated, by the way, in special teams.
Yeah, and it's the weird thing that it's like offensive linemen in general, that if you hear their name, it's because they screwed up, right? Like I watched the Ravens for a long time, and you never heard Morgan Cox's name. You just never did, because every snap after snap after snap after snap after snap, all of them perfect. The one time I remember hearing his name on a broadcast was 2016 against the Patriots. He had a low snap. Cook kind of bobbled it. And then I think Hightower just straight up jumped over Morgan Cox.
Was it Collins or Hightower?
I think it was Hightower. Okay. Whatever. Generic Patriots linebacker block. This one made me mad. That was the only kick Tucker missed all season, but there's no delineation. Like if you go on like Pro Football Reference, there's nothing that says, yep, this kick was blocked. So if you look and Tucker was 38 of 39 that year. Okay, well, he missed a kick. Oh, he's a bum. He missed a 40-yard field goal. It's not his bloody fault he missed a field goal. Tucker can't control the kick. Oh my God.
We know Justin Tucker is the man, though. In reality, it's him, and then 2 notches down, Harrison Butker, Young Hope, and all that.
I think Butker's a little overrated because it's
the kicker who made 3 kicks despite being iced twice in overtime last year is overrated. Splash.
Yes. But it doesn't matter if he made the first 2. Those are entirely irrelevant. If he misses the first 2, guess what? Nothing changes. That's my thing. Shout out to Austin.
True. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Woo. Dude.
We're almost to 1 million.
Yeah, good stuff, Austin.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you for supporting us from day one. You're one of the OGs here, following us and Jack, or me and Jack specifically from our first show back in January. So shout out to Austin. Hopefully you can come on and maybe do a Rams preview at some point in the future. So shout out to Austin. But yeah, the blocked field goals just annoy me as a fan of a team that has the best kicker ever by percentage. It's just annoying that of his misses, a lot of them are either from 60 million yards away or blocked. Right. So it's, I don't know, because it's not really, it's like Joey.
Okay. We're going crazy.
Shout out to Peyton. Wow.
We have to do something.
We have to do something.
We'll figure it out. We'll do something for this.
Peyton, do you want to come on the show next week?
I think that's
I don't have
I'm kind of speechless right now. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't.
Yeah, we can figure something out. Make sure is Peyton your friend, Stefan?
Yeah.
Okay, so get in contact with him. If he wants to come on the show, he can be our next guest. That'd be great.
I got you. I'm actually keeping in touch with him right now. So.
All right, awesome. Yeah, thank you, Peyton. You're awesome. Okay, great. We can do that. All right.
A hot tub stream.
Oh, boy.
That would be hard to do kind of remote, but
yeah. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Frankie's back. The hot takes with Frankie continue. Zach Wilson is Rodgers 2.0. with a better personality. Okay, first of all, let me take the Rodgers part. Rodgers actually has a solid personality. I know he doesn't talk to like his friends and family, like okay, cool, but he has enough charisma to host Jeopardy. That's saying something.
This is true.
That's saying he can host a game show and it works, right? So I think you should give Aaron Rodgers' personality a little bit more credit. So that's funny. I totally lost my train of thought.
I don't know where we're at right now.
Okay. So punters for a second. Of course, Jack as a big Johnny Hecker guy and me as a Sam Cook guy, the way punters like operate is so precise that you might not notice the difference between like the best punt in the NFL and the second best punt in the NFL, but it's just all in the angle of the foot. Like I was goalie for a while in soccer. It was like 7 or 8 years. And it's just the way the ball spins, the way you drop it from your hand, there's all these little nuances that these guys are. It looks like every single kick looks the same unless you know what you're looking for, unless you can see that leg, the hip torque in a certain direction. Like I watched a documentary on punting. That's what I do in my free time.
Wait, send me that. Was it interesting?
So I watched this documentary, and it's just a bunch of. It's from the 2012 Super Bowl run, and it's Cook just explaining. He can't go into too much detail because he wants to keep his job, but he's just like he kicks it this way, 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 and it's just so nuanced that I think kickers and punters and long snappers, I think they deserve a little bit more credit because, again, you don't want to know their name. You don't want to know your punter's name. Sam Cook had like 40 punts in 2019, never on the field. The only reason you knew who he was, he had that one completion, right? Morgan Cox, the best long snapper in the NFL last year. He was an All-Pro, first ever long snapper All-Pro. You didn't know his name. I watched the Ravens for years, and you don't hear his name on the broadcast, and for good reason. So yeah, shout out to Nelson. I took it down. There we go.
We both keep clicking at the same time. Go ahead, Splash.
There we go. Who do you think will win offensive and defensive rookie awards? I'm going to go first here. I have money on Nick Bolton, linebacker for the Kansas City Chiefs, winning defensive rookie of the year. And for offensive rookie of the year, I
Jake Funk.
Oh, no.
I'm kidding. It's
probably Najee Harris and Nick Bolton. Stefan, you go.
Micah Parsons, and I love Najee. I have to agree with Najee. Najee Harris is the man.
Najee Harris fan club out here.
All right, Jack, let's hear it.
Who's my defensive pick? That's a good question. I'll get back to you.
Okay. Thank you, Nelson. Thank you for the donation. Let me catch up with these chats. All right. Tiksa, Wilson going to be a 2-time MVP. I'm calling it. Honestly, I think that's a tad rich. I guess I never finished my Zach Wilson bit. That I understand the Aaron Rodgers comparisons. I would pump the brakes a little bit because rookie quarterbacks generally don't hit the ground running. We get spoiled when we have the Justin Herberts of the world, and we get spoiled by these rookies that come in and start balling. Do we need to just throw back? Joe Burrow was arguably more polished than Justin Herbert, arguably more polished, like tape-wise.
Yeah.
Just Herbert had so many big plays down the field that the volatility is there. Now, I'm certainly not going to say Burrow is better than Herbert, although I do like Burrow a lot. It's just quarterback play can be so volatile. We've seen it year in and year out that even Lamar Jackson, he led the league in touchdowns. He had a 9% touchdown rate. No one does that. No one outside of Frankie Albert in 1948, 1949. No one has replicated that in 70 years. Nice. Aaron Rodgers didn't. Patrick Mahomes didn't. Tom Brady didn't.
This dude's the GOAT.
We are going crazy today.
It's just, oh my God, it's just throwing me off completely.
Wow. Yeah, I feel
eventually we have to get used to the point where they just come in and we just kind of have to accept them as we go. And
I want to enjoy it
once we finish our point.
But Hurts over Dak is interesting. Okay, back to Wilson. I like him. He was my quarterback too, even over Fields, even over Lance. I would pump the brakes a little bit. In 2 years, 3 years, we can have this conversation. I think right now, pump the brakes a little bit. All right, Frankie, Splash, go through the top 5 fantasy wide receivers in 2021. Real quick, in no particular order: Calvin Ridley, Devontae Adams, DK Metcalf, DeAndre Hopkins, and did I say Tyreek Hill?
No.
Okay. Calvin Ridley, DK Metcalf, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, and DeAndre Hopkins. Those are my 5.
I like it.
That's fair.
Okay. Johnny Hecker was awesome in 2016. I believe that was Sam Cook's Pro Bowl year too. So shout out to good punting.
I got to witness some of Johnny Hecker's punts in person in 2016.
Beautiful.
We were losing to the Panthers. Enough said.
Ouch.
Yeah, not fun.
Najee with the easy schedule. I don't see the issue. My only issue with Najee is that the divisional games are going to be a little weird because I think Baltimore, Cleveland, and Cincinnati all take steps up in terms of run defense. DJ Reader's going to play the whole year. Calais Campbell's going to play the whole year, and Cleveland, like Jadeveon Clowney, is a good run defender, and I like Jordan Elliott a lot. So I understand, but the divisional games are a little goofy to me. Pittsburgh does play a first place schedule, although you could run on Kansas City. So you can run on Kansas City. Buffalo, you can run on Buffalo, but Buffalo, I think I've mentioned this before, but Buffalo is that weird team that knows they're bad at run defense, but it's not an issue to them. They don't care that they're bad at run defense because they force you to throw. They're going to score a bunch of points. They're going to force you to throw. They're going to force you to aim at Trey White and Poyer and Hyde and Levi Wallace and the corpse of Josh Norman. They force you to do that. And Matt Milano and the linebacker and Tremaine Edmonds, who is wildly overrated, but that's beside the point. They know they have a bad run defense. They don't really care. They just play the numbers game. Tiksa, Jamar Chase, offensive rookie of the year. Greg Newsome, defensive rookie of the year. Chase, I don't mind it. Newsome, as much as I like Newsome moving forward, it's hard for a cornerback to win rookie of the year. It's just hard to win rookie of the quarterback. It's hard to win defensive rookie of the year as a cornerback.
Defensive rookie of the year as a CB.
All right, Peyton. Hurts over Dak. Look, I am a huge fan of Jalen Hurts. When Javi, one of our coworkers, says, "Oh, Hurts sucks for fantasy purposes," I am always pushing back against it. Shout out to Javi. He needs to come on a show sometime. No, just no. Come on, please. Not even in fantasy is this true. All right, Frankie. Offensive rookie of the year, Kyle Pitts. Defensive rookie of the year, Kwity Paye.
I can agree with Kyle Pitts, actually. I think he has a solid case. But the thing is that I feel like Pittsburgh is more likely to be a playoff team than Atlanta.
That's fair.
And the success of each team kind of also has a little bit to it. So it adds to, like, are you more likely to win this or not? Like,
yeah, I don't hate Pitts. It's just the tight end issue that I know, as much of an outlier of that Pitts is, it's still hard to contribute from day one as a tight end. We saw it. Hawkinson was a great prospect. Fant was a great prospect. They didn't really have good rookie seasons. Hawkinson had one great game, and then outside of that, you didn't do a whole lot of anything. Mike Ditka is the only Ditka's the only tight end to have 1,000 yards in his rookie season. Even Gronk didn't do that. Kelsey didn't do that. So I understand the support there. I'm gonna get to that.
I couldn't ignore it.
But with I just don't know. I'd like it, Frankie. I'd like it, but it's a little too rich for me. It's a little too projecty to me. Kwity Paye could absolutely do it with the Colts. He and Jalen Phillips probably have the two. I think they're number 1 and number 2 in odds. I could be wrong, but you could definitely do it.
Sure.
I want to keep making shows. This is only episode 31. Oh man.
No, way more to do. Okay. Should we move on? What was our next topic? I'm lost.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So we might do a fill-in if Stefan can do 69 push-ups in a row at some point. Well, he can record it.
Do my next show if you want.
Oh, that could be exciting. I would pay to see this.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I mean, shoot, we got 20 from Frankie. We got whatever's from Venmo from Peyton. We got Javier's 5. We got Noah's 5. I mean, hey, if it's for the show.
Yeah. Outside of Ridley, just curious where the yards are coming from. I agree, but Russell Gage, watch out.
Each season, I'm telling you.
Russell Gage, I look at the stats last year when Julio was out last like month or two of the season. Russell Gage was a top like 20 wide receiver, fantasy wide receiver. Like Russell Gage, the best quarterback on the friggin' Falcons. Oh my goodness. He had a 98 passing grade last year.
That's what I think helped Kyle Pitts as well, because everyone's saying not to go Kyle Pitts when they should, but without anyone but Ridley, Gage, and Pitts, we saw last year what happened with our 3 guys. I think that Atlanta offense can still be a nice pass team.
For sure. And bold take for defensive rookie of the year, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I don't hate it.
Don't hate it.
It's linebackers last year were burnt alive, like Queen, Brooks, Simmons, all massacred. Owusu-Koramoah is probably in even of a worse spot because you look at what he did at Notre Dame versus what he's going to do in the NFL. There's no similarity there. There's not an NFL position that corresponds with what he played at Notre Dame. But that being said, he's going to play like that slot corner, so he could get eaten alive, and he's not going to have the outside production in terms of pass deflections and like interception. Not even tackles. So while defensive rookie of the year is always a numbers thing, this is why people thought Patrick Queen was a good player just because of the numbers. But
there's a lot of numbers involved in awards too. Like when Aaron Donald won Defensive Player of the Year last year over T.J. Watt, people were going right to the numbers all the time. It's awards are about more than the numbers, guys.
For sure. Yeah, and I think that's the thing with rookies, especially defensive rookie of the year. I think numbers should matter, and I think that's fair. I think with awards,
numbers should matter, but they shouldn't tell the full story.
That's fair.
Pretty much
I think with Pro Bowls and All Pros, I think those should be more focused on the best players. But I'm okay with, the offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year being like the number one statistical profile. Like I'm cool with that. Like offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year to some degree, MVP, I'm cool with those being statistical profiles more than like Lamar Jackson. I wasn't the best player in 2019. Most valuable, yes. Best statistical profile from a quarterback, yes. But I think Mahomes was a better player. He was higher in my top 100. Russell Wilson, I think, was a better player. He was higher in my top 100. So I think there's some give and take in terms of awards and how much you want it to be influenced by stats versus, eye test. So I think that's fair all the way around. From our good friend Javi, Najee Offensive Rookie of the Year, but don't sleep on Amon-Ra St. Brown. He is a beast and has a chance to be wide receiver 1 in Detroit.
I get that, fantasy guy. It's just
I don't hate it. I loved Amon-Ra coming out. I wanted him with the second round pick the Baltimore had before they traded it to Kansas City. He is the only true separator in that wide receiver core because you look at Quintez Cephas, not a separator. He's more of a deep threat. Tyrell Williams, more of a deep threat. Rashad Perriman, more of a deep threat. So Amon-Ra is going to get some of those, not really ticky-tack, but he might be the most productive wide receiver there just based because he's open, And if you're scheming up open routes, Amon-Ra is the most likely to get open. And Jared Goff, we've seen, can hit open receivers most of the time. So
can he?
Look.
He can hit them on occasion. I was just seeing a lot of overthrows as well. So
Yeah, I get it. Hot take or no? DeVonta Smith has the most catches of any rookie wide receiver.
I can see it.
I
think he's behind Chase. Like Chase is the outlier there because Chase might already be the best receiver on his team. Well, I'm not saying Smith isn't, but Chase is the most well-rounded profile of anyone on the Bengals, which is saying a lot because they have a pretty good wide receiver room. Smith could lead in yards and maybe touchdowns, but I think catches probably goes to Chase. And you can throw Waddle in for yards too, touchdowns too. And I think Rashad Bateman, even though he's injured now, has a shot at touchdowns. Marquise Brown has 7 touchdowns in each of the last 2 seasons. Just want to throw that out there. So with that said, what a segment. I don't know how I'm going to chop that up, but
I know how we're gonna top it though. I think we move on to these glorious power rankings made by Mr. Splash right here.
Oh boy.
Let me clear
the worst. Oh, wow. Nice.
Okay.
Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Yeah. Make sure you send complaints to yourmom@gmail.com. Yeah. Notes. So this is based on a formula: 45% offense, 40% defense, 10% coaching, 5% special teams. If you want to dispute the formula, that's fine. Just drop it in the comments. I can't see it right now, but Jack and Stefan can inform me. So I'm going to go a quarter of the offense, quarterback, a quarter of the offense, receiving core, a quarter of the offense, pass blocking. You throw. I did a typo. 15% run blocking. So 40% offensive line, 25% quarterback, 25% receivers and tight ends and running backs that can produce, and 10% running backs or pure running backs plus the Lamar Jacksons, Kyler Murray's, Josh Allen's of the world. Defense, 40%. And before you ask, why is offense rated higher than defense? Elite offense beats elite defense usually. And bad offense is more catastrophic than a bad defense. We've seen teams with the 32nd ranked offense the 32nd ranked defense do stuff. If you're the 32nd ranked offense, you're not moving the football. You cannot score points.
Frankie's questioning why QB is only 25%.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. It could probably be higher. When I run through it, you're going to see some goofy teams and goofy spots. It should be higher probably, but it's hard to distinguish sometimes. And also that throw in that some of the quarterbacks value for Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray is a part of the running game. So those guys are closer to 30 to 35%, and we'll get into it. Note, this list sucks. This is an objectively bad list. This is awful. Like, this is not like my opinion. Well, obviously the list sucking is my opinion, but this is based on pure numbers, and as much of a numbers guy as I am, it's not always the best to note football. Take a look at the number 20 team that I'm going to get to in a little bit. They shouldn't be number 20, but they happen to be because of the way I formatted this. The scale is 20 to 80, like baseball. So 20 is Drew Lock caliber, 80 is Patrick Mahomes caliber. Enough said. Number 32, Houston Texans. This is with Deshaun Watson. He is the only bright spot on this team. Their worst group, they have a lot of bad groups. They have a lot of awful groups. So 24th offense, 32nd defense. Let's move on. This is a surprise. I understand. But the Raiders have minimal talent. Their best players are Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs, and Darren Waller. There is a limit to how good you can be when your second best player is a middling tier quarterback and your third best player is a running back. There's a cap. 25th ranked offense, 31st in defense. Best group is the quarterback position because outside of Waller, I don't love it. And then they have a bad run defense. They have a bad secondary. Bet the over on Baltimore week 1. Number 30, Detroit Lions. As much as I love the offensive line, the run blocking is 70 out of 80. The receiving core, as I mentioned, is just awful. TJ Hawkinson is the only true bright spot for me. 20th ranked offense. It couldn't even get better because the offensive line, I think, is going to be really good. 30th ranked defense, though, you have a lot of work, Dan Campbell. 29th, everyone's favorite, Sam Darnold and the Carolina Panthers. Why are they 29th? Because of Sam Darnold. Before Alec, the Panthers fan, comes in and says, oh, he's going to be so good. Sam Darnold has shown me nothing in 3 years. You could say, oh, he's on the Jets. Oh, Adam Gase. Oh, Jamison Crowder was his best receiver. Oh, Robbie Anderson was his best receiver. Look, if you're good, you show me something. Sam Darnold has been awful. Just plain awful. 26th ranked offense. I don't like the offensive line. The run blocking there is 25th grade. The rushing attack with Christian McCaffrey. Now, keep in mind, rushing as Christian McCaffrey as a pure runner. I know Browns fans love pure runner. Christian McCaffrey is not the best runner in the NFL. He's the best. Could play slot receiver. So most of his value comes as a receiver. As a runner, he's really good, but he's not Nick Chubb or Derrick Henry. 29th ranked defense. I like the players. Some of the players, Burns and Shin, but I don't see it as an entire unit. Jacksonville, number 28, the best group. Special teams. Josh Lambo, he's awesome. Worst receiving core. I love Chark. I love a lot of the pieces there, but they haven't worked together yet. Tied for 27th in offense, 25th in defense. Everyone's favorite New York Jets.
Jets. Jets.
Tied for 29th in offense. a lot of that's going to come down to Zach Wilson not being there yet. Now, this is a rookie quarterback. Let me remind you, rookie quarterback, receiving core. I get it. You're going to be like, is it a 20? Oh my gosh. Because none of them have proven anything. The only legitimate guy there right now for sure is Jamison Crowder. And he's not even he might not even see the field too much because Elijah Moore is coming on. Elijah Moore hasn't played a down of football yet. Denzel Mims hasn't been good at football yet, and Corey Davis had one good year when he was the number 2 to A.J. Brown. 29th, tied for 29th in offense, 20th ranked defense, but they have the number 1 run defense in the NFL. I will stand by that. That's why Quentin Williams is pictured there. Number 26, Zach Taylor is the issue with the Bengals. If Zach Taylor was not here, they would be much higher. As you can see, they were 26th, but they're 18th in offense, 24th in defense.
I love that picture, by the way.
Exactly.
That's fantastic.
This is, awesome receiver court. You throw out Higgins, you throw out Boyd, you throw out Chase. Joe Mixon's nice. The tight ends are whatever, but at a certain point, who cares? The coaching is so bad in Cincinnati. I think I could win 6 games with that roster. Zach Taylor is going to make them go 4-13. Number 25, the Philadelphia Eagles, 22nd ranked offense. Offensive line helps. 23rd ranked defense. Defensive line helps. 70 grade pass rush, 20 grade linebackers. If you don't care about linebackers, I get it. They were only 15% of my defensive grade. That's cool. 24, Chicago Bears. Note that I'm not super high on the defense, and let me explain. Linebackers are great. I love Roquan Smith. And you have the pass rush, a pretty good pass rush, with Khalil Mack. I don't love the secondary. You lose Kyle Fuller. Now I know Eddie Jackson's there, but it's been 3 years since he was elite. And you have Jalen Johnson, but he's a second-year corner. You can only have such high expectations for that. So I don't love it. The run blocking, pass blocking, the Bears have just a poor offensive line. Bringing in Tevin Jenkins, great. I love it. It was a great idea to trade up. Cincinnati, you're morons for they traded down ahead of Chicago. Then Chicago took them with the next pick. Regardless, Chicago is a bad offensive line right now. That's why they're the 31st ranked offense, 15th ranked defense. Can take a breath. 23rd ranked Atlanta Falcons, 17th offense, 26th ranked defense. Their best group, Young Wei Koo, 75 grade special teams, but they have the worst secondary in the NFL. It's just ugly. AJ Terrell is your best player. He's a high floor guy. You're not going to get much else out of it. I love the linebackers. Aluakun and Deion Jones are great. Number 22, New York Giants, 32nd ranked offense. Why? Because they have the worst offensive line of football, but tied for 8th in defense. Secondary, love it with James Bradbury. Throw in Jabril Peppers. Throw in the number 12 prospect on my 2020 big board, Xavier McKinney. Number 21, Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys. Mike McCarthy is the second coach to earn a 20. Good job, Zach Taylor. You're not alone. But this team has a loaded receiving core. You have Michael Gallup, who could probably be a wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 on every other team in the league. You have Amari Cooper, who would be a wide receiver 1 on most teams in the league. And you have CeeDee Lamb, who is your future alpha and could be the number 1 wide receiver on most of the league. Number 5, offense. That's great. Number 27, defense. That's not good at all. This is the one that is controversial, but let me explain. I am well aware the Titans are not the 20th best team in football. In my actual power rankings that I do like team by team, they're a top 10 team, 100%. But the issues they have are personified here. Their best player is a running back. Your team can only be so good when your best player is a running back. In real life, they can win a Super Bowl. The Titans can win a Super Bowl. But for this, you have a 75 grade rushing attack. You have a 75 grade receiving attack with, 2 alphas. Bad special teams, but hey, that's okay. Defensively, Tennessee has little talent. 28th ranked defense, 7th ranked offense. So I know it seems a little low, but the offensive line, I don't love it. It's a solid offensive line, but when your defense is this bad, a solid offensive line can only push you so high. Number 19, Los Angeles Chargers. Asante Samuel Jr. was one of the best picks in the draft. It is a phenomenal scheme fit. I don't throw phenomenal out there often. This was one of the only A-plus picks I had in the second round. It's hard to get an A-plus out after I think Bateman was the last A-plus I gave until Samuel, and then after that, it's practically impossible to get an A-plus. Phenomenal scheme fit. He's part of that 65 grade secondary, 13th ranked offense, 18th ranked defense. Linebackers suck, though. Number 18, Jason
Special
Sanders.
teams suck too, by the way, on the Chargers.
Jason Sanders and the Miami Dolphins tied for 29th in offense. Offensive line, that's the reason why, and the rushing attack, but rushing attack doesn't really matter that much. Tied for 8th in defense. Awesome special teams. Throw in Jakeem Grant, throw in Jason Sanders. You have the potential the best kicking group in the NFL and the best return group in the NFL, and Pollard is a fine punter. Rushing, come on, Miles Gaskin. Like, come on now. Number 17, Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. Why are they here? Well, Cliff Kingsbury, I don't love the defensive backs. Budda Baker is nice. I like Budda. I like Byron Murphy, former 33rd overall pick. I get it. But the best group is the rushing attack. And again, there's a limit on how good that can be because it was only 10% of the grading process. Kyler is a great runner, and I like Chase Edmonds. James Conner is whatever. The offensive line is, good, not great. 12th ranked offense, 17th ranked defense, with room to grow. Number 16, the Pittsburgh Steelers, tied for 27th in offense. It's because of the offensive line, I can assure you. And number 4, defense. Best pass rush. They're one of 2 teams to earn an 80 pass rush grade from me, but they earned 25 grades as a run blocking unit, as a pass blocking unit. That can't happen. I get it. They'll probably overachieve. They're going to win 9 games. Bet on it. Bet on the over 8.5. Look, I've been around long enough. The Steelers just will win 9 games. It doesn't really matter who they throw out there. So they're probably going to overachieve. Number 15, Drew Lock drags this down a lot. 23rd ranked offense, but it really should be lower. And Frankie, I agree with you 100% that quarterback should matter more. If I could do my own power rankings, the Broncos would have the 32nd ranked offense. But the offense around Drew Lock is so good. The wide receivers, you have Sutton. Tim Patrick is the best wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4 in football. KJ Hamler, Jerry Jeudy, Noah Fant, Alberto, Melvin Gordon, Javonte Williams, and a good offensive line. Drew Lock, why do you suck so much? 23rd ranked offense, 2nd ranked defense. This defense is loaded.
This comes back to more Drew Lock slander, pretty much.
Drew Lock slander. This secondary is awesome. You could cut it in half and you'd have 2 awesome secondaries. You have Kyle Fuller back with Vic Fangio. You have my safety 1 in Justin Simmons. You throw out Michael Ojemudia. You throw out Patrick Surtain. You throw out Ronald Darby. I love the linebackers too, Alexander Johnson in particular. The defensive line is very good. Shelby Harris. Then Von Miller is back. Bradley Chubb is awesome. What's not to like? 2nd ranked defense. Number 14, my linebacker 1, Eric Kendricks, leads this linebacker unit, 75 grade. Rushing grade, also 75 with Dalvin Cook, Alexander Madison. Pass blocking, they just can't pass block. We've come to expect it. They can't pass block. It's going to limit their offense to being 16th, but they have the number 10 defense. Losing Anthony Harris sucks, but hey, you have Harrison Smith. Congratulations. Number 13, this is controversial, I'm aware, but let me explain. 11th ranked offense. Why it's not Josh Allen? I can assure you Josh Allen was the quarterback 4 in this exercise.
The slide didn't change there, I guess. There, I guess.
Okay.
You're fine.
I can assure you that Josh Allen is not the reason why they're the 11th ranked offense. The rest of the offense is. As you can see, the rushing grade, 25. Don't love it. Wide receivers, it's nice. Diggs is unbelievable, top 5 guy, but I don't love Sanders. Gabriel Davis hasn't done anything in camp to replace Sanders as wide receiver 3 this year. And then Cole Beasley, I think, is a little overrated. He got an all-pro vote last year. I didn't think he deserved it. Offensive line is meh. Like, Deion Dawkins is cool. Darrell Williams is cool, but I don't love it. Defensively, I think the Bills are incredibly overrated. They took a huge step back from 2019 to 2020, but you didn't notice because the Bills kept winning. The issue is they went from a defensive-centric team that won, 10 games in 2019 and made the playoffs as the 5 seed to an offensive overload team in 2020 and made the playoffs in spite of a pretty pedestrian defense. And that those numbers are a little inflated because the Bills were so good. Tre'Davious White is awesome. Poyer, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, they're great. I get it.
We have breaking news really quick. It's NBA related. Sorry to interrupt. Schroeder to the Celtics. Dennis Schroeder to the Celtics on a 1-year deal.
Okay, exciting.
I like that.
He fumbled the bag big time with the Lakers, though.
I agree.
Yeah. Anyways, Tremaine Edmonds is one of the most overrated players in the NFL. There are real life people within NFL organizations that said he was the best linebacker in football. What drugs are you on? Please just inject them into my veins so I don't have to watch Drew Lock anymore. Matt Milano is good, but he's one of the guys to me that plays in a contract year, and people know it's a contract year, so his value gets bumped up a little bit. It's like, oh yeah, Milano is making all these great plays. What kind of contract is he going to get? Probably too much. I don't remember the exact numbers he got. He's a good player, but I think he's a little overrated because it was a contract year. Defensive line, it's not really doing anything for me. Ed Oliver hasn't done enough for me. It's an okay group, but in an NFL that the Cardinals have an average pass rush with J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones, you need more. Buffalo at 13. I get it. It's low. They're in my top 5 normally, but the way the math worked out, they're 13th here. Number 12, Seattle Seahawks, led by DK Metcalf and that 70 grade receiving room. You also
put that in a picture frame. I like that.
You have that 70 grade quarterback room with Russell Wilson. They can't. Their offensive line. I love Dwayne Brown. Damian Lewis is an unbelievable run blocker, and then it's a bunch of. Number 8 offense, in spite of having an awesome quarterback and an awesome wide receiver. So 50% of their offense is really, 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 really good. The rest of the offense, I don't like Chris Carson. But 22nd ranked defense probably could be better if Jamal Adams could cover it. Anything. Number 11, Quentin Nelson and the Indianapolis Colts, the number 15 offense. Why? I just don't know what they're going to do at quarterback yet. And yes, we are on the Jacob Eason hype train, but I don't think Carson Wentz is very good at football. Tied for 11th in defense. The best group is the run blocking offensive line. Quentin Nelson is unbelievable run blocker. Hopefully he's back for week 1. The receiving core, frankly, I don't love it. Pittman's like a good player. T.Y. is like old. Paris Campbell, whatever. But it's not scratching the itches I want it to scratch for me. Number 10, the Washington football team, ladies and gentlemen.
The football team.
The number 21 offense, the number 3 defense, led by that pristine 80 grade pass rush. I originally had it 80 grade for them and 77.5 for Pittsburgh, but the math didn't work out when I made the full spreadsheet. So it's like, okay, both can be 80s. That's fine. Worst group, I don't know what you're going to get from Fitzpatrick. I don't know what you're going to get from Taylor Heineke. I would love to see Heineke, but this defense is loaded. Like this defense, I don't love the linebackers, but secondary is going to be really, really good. Pass rush is awesome, and the run defense is going to be one of the best in the league when you bring back Matt Ioannidis. Number 9, I thought it was too high. I agree. Bill Belichick is the strength of this team. The worst part of this team is the receiving core. You are actively going to give N'Keal Harry snaps again, I guess. Hunter Henry is injured now. Jonnu Smith breakout season, though. 19th in offense. They do have a great offensive line. I love Damian Harris. I think Cam can do things, but the receiving core brings it down. 5th defense. You bring back Hightower. You're going to have there's no like weak part of that defense. That's my thing. That the secondary is going to be really good, but like there's the run defense is going to be fine. The pass rush is going to be fine. The linebackers are going to be fine. Boom. 5th ranked defense. You have Fred Warner and the San Francisco 49ers, 10th graded offense, tied for 11th in defense. Why are they so high? Well, Kyle Shanahan helps. The best, not quite the best, but a 75 grade linebacker room led by that man and Trey Greenlaw. Quarterbacks, defensive backs, I don't love it. 45 grade. Baltimore Ravens at number 7. I guess it's right. 14th ranked offense. That's really low, but hold on because rushing. 6th graded defense. I think that's a tad high, but who cares? Rushing 80. It's Lamar Jackson, J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards. Come on, they could run for 3,000. They're going to run for 3,000 yards. All of them could run for 1,000 yards each. It might happen. Defensive backs, you have 2 great corners. You throw in Jimmy Smith as a solid 5th guy, solid 3rd corner, 5th DB. Deshaun Elliott, Chuck Clark, good corners. Receiving core, took a hit today. I made this before Rashad Bateman got hurt. It'd probably be lower without Bateman. That's a set point. Number 6, New Orleans Saints. Awesome offensive line, especially pass blockers. You got Ryan Ramczyk here. Worst, Jameis Winston. I actually need to see him start because if you have any Taysom Hill in there, I'm a little suspect. Number 9 offense seems high, but they have an awesome offensive line. Number 7 defense also seems high, but this is a really good group. You have DeMario Davis. You have Cameron Jordan. You have Marcus Williams. You have Marshawn Lattimore. You have a lot of talented players. I don't see like a weakness on the defense. And like New England, if you don't have a weakness, all of your grades go up. Number 5, your Los Angeles Rams, the number 6 offense, the number 16 defense. Now hold on, Jack. I know you're going to be mad at that.
Why 16th? Why 16th? Explain, please.
Because I think the Rams are a little over-reliant on star power. You have tremendous talent, Hall of Fame, all-time team starter Aaron Donald, and you have an all-pro caliber Jalen Ramsey, and I love Darius Williams. Linebackers, not really seeing it. The rest of the secondary was shredded by the Cleveland Browns in free agency. The rest of the defensive front, it's Aaron Donald and a bunch of not Aaron Donald. So
Leonard Floyd.
I can't rate Leonard Floyd that highly. Offense 6, receiving core with Kupp and Woods is going to be great. 5. I think 5 is the right spot.
I think it's fair. I think it's fair.
I don't think you're happy
I'm
with
not
the 16th ranked defense, but you throw in McVay, and that boosts it. So number 4,
Sean
Cleveland
McVay alone
Browns.
boosts it. And then speaking of the Browns, who took all of our secondary away, there you go.
Number 3 offense. Let me explain. Number 14 defense. Also, let me explain. Nick Chubb plus Kareem Hunt, that's the best running back duo in football. And you throw in an elite pass blocking offensive line, and you throw in an elite run blocking offensive line. Boom, you're going to have an awesome offense. Baker Mayfield, good grade. Receiving core, good grade. You have the 3rd ranked offense here. Defensively, secondary is awesome. Myles Garrett is awesome. It's the same sort of issue that you have with the Rams, that when you have one superstar, you can't rank that highly. The secondary picks it up. The linebackers kind of ugly. Number 3, we got Jeopardy man himself, Aaron Rodgers, 4th ranked offense, 13th ranked defense. The best group is Aaron Rodgers. The worst group, the run defense and the linebackers, it's just not very good. I know they don't prioritize that, but the pass rush is great. The secondary is great. They have like 8 star players on that defense. None of them are great run defenders, though, and none of them play linebacker. DeVonta Adams, you throw him in there. Aaron Jones, he's awesome.
Super chat from Avery Peterson. Says the Rams' star power is star power for a reason. Should be more like 10th. Honestly,
Okay.
I think he's got a fair point there.
I understand, but at the same time, if you double team Aaron Donald, I don't know how much I trust Leonard Floyd to actually capitalize. That's the issue. I think there are other teams that have.
I think he capitalized fine last year.
I mean, I get it, but you're losing John Johnson, who was awesome, and you're losing Troy Hill, who's a great slot corner. So you're losing 2/5 of that. I understand it's a little low. I understand, but he can only be so high at a certain point. Number 2, Patrick Mahomes trying to throw an interception, but it went off someone's face mask. The number 1 offense, duh. The number 19 defense, they have Patrick Mahomes. Enough said. The run offense, I don't love Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's more of, to me, moving forward, he's going to be a lot of help in the receiving game, and he's going to be a reason why they probably should have had an 80 grade receiving core. Run defense, not very good, but it doesn't matter because Patrick Mahomes is so good. And number 1, Tampa Bay. Notice the jump from 61.93 to 70.66. The number 2 offense, the number 1 defense. The Buccaneers have 3 of my highest graded units. The receiving core, 80. Linebackers, 80. Defensive backs, 80. Their worst group is a 50. Their worst group, their running backs is a 50. Put that in percent. Antonio Brown is probably a top 20 wide receiver in football. He's their number 3.
I'm curious that you didn't put drunk Tom Brady for the picture of this, by the way.
Oh, because I didn't have quarterback listed. So yeah, when Antonio Brown is your number 3 receiver, you're doing something right.
And then Scotty Miller's your 4th receiver.
And you throw in Tyler Johnson, and you Cameron Brate, Gio Bernard as a running back, OJ Howard, Rob Gronkowski. There's an embarrassment of riches there. They have an awesome run defense. That was a 75 just by the Jets. They have an awesome pass rush. They have a good offensive line. And they have freaking Tom Brady. So, yeah, there's the worst power rankings you've ever seen, ladies and gentlemen.
They're not as bad as I thought they were. The top 5 was actually a lot better than I thought. You can really mix around the other ones, the top 10, but
yeah. I know people are going to complain about the Titans, and people are going to complain about the Bills. I understand. Listen, the Bills are better than 13. The Titans are better than 20. I am supremely aware of that fact because we beat one of them in the playoffs. And the other team smacked us in the playoffs. I get it, but the way I broke it down, their most valuable, especially Tennessee, their most valuable piece is Derrick Henry. You can only be so good in this math world. You can only be so good when your best player is a running back. And for the Bills, I don't love the defense. When I do my team by team defensive rankings, it's really, really hard to not put the Jets above the Bills. It is extremely hard because I want to suppress all of this Jets bias that Frankie and Nick have instilled upon me in the last 2 years. Shout out Nick and Frankie. I want to suppress that. I want to say, no, the Jets are the Jets. But the Bills, and before you say, well, why did you only score 3 points in a playoff game? Well, Tucker missed 2 field goals and you threw a red zone interception. you're going to generally score more than 3 points. But if you're using that logic, then I guess the Chiefs suck because they only scored 9 points in the Super Bowl. But that's beside the point. So I get it. The Bills are too low. I acknowledge that. That's why I made the bloody presentation and said they sucked.
Okay.
Not as bad as you made it out to be, though. Like, honestly,
Okay.
Quite the presentation.
Yeah, I like
from
it.
Splash.
Oh my goodness.
All right. I think it's time we move on to a segment that we forgot last week, but we brought it back this week. We like to call it thumbs up or thumbs down. So this week on thumbs up or thumbs down, we pretty much decided we're gonna talk about each of the playoff teams from last year. Can they make it back? Yeah, thumbs up if they can, thumbs up if they can't. So we're gonna start with the 1 seeds. Kansas City.
Patrick Mahomes. I think that's enough said.
Yeah, Mahomes, Tyreek, Butker. I mean, they've got so much talent on there. I mean, it's pretty hard for them to miss it.
Did you guys see the clip of Chris Jones just destroying Joe Tooney today? Oh my goodness.
That must be such a great battle to watch in camp. It's just like those two guys just going at it, like high paid guy. That's just what you love to see, though. You know?
Yeah. Like,
okay,
Joe Tooney got his lunch money taken though.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Chris Jones is so good. All right, let's hear it.
Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers,
yes.
DeVonta Adams.
You have 8 stars on defense. I think you're good.
You're fine. Not much to talk about there. Okay, the 2 seeds. Buffalo Bills.
I'm still leaning.
You see how long it took?
I'm still leaning Buffalo over New England. I'm still leaning, but I'm losing faith in that defense every day.
Yeah, that's fair. But I think their offense is fine enough. I mean, defense wins championships. Like, you got to have both.
For sure.
Okay, New Orleans Saints. I don't see it.
I think they go 8 and 9. I need to see Jameis, and you have the Michael Thomas issues, and they have a high floor because they're going to have a really sturdy defense, and they have a really good offensive line, and Alvin Kamara is unbelievable. But Jameis, I need to see Jameis. I like Jameis. I love Jameis, but I need to see it consistently.
Okay, the 3 seeds. Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay. First of all, they will go over 500. They will go over 500. So if 9 and 8 makes the playoffs, it just depends on if 9 and 8 makes the playoffs, or 9 and 8, 10 and 7.
So you're kind of in the middle of it.
If it makes the playoffs, they will have a record that they're going to be a tiebreaker. They're a tiebreaker team. If they happen to win the tiebreaker, they make the playoffs.
Okay, that's fair. Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
No, okay. All right.
Okay. As I mentioned, the defense, don't really love it. Russell Wilson is wildly inconsistent. He's one of those inconsistent superstar guys, volatile superstar guys that I like to talk about with Lamar and Josh Allen and Deshaun Watson usually. But I don't know. I think they have too many flaws right now for me to pick them going better than 8 or 9 and 8. They could make the playoffs. I'm not going to bet on it, but
I just find it funny how Russ was talking about in the offseason how he wants to get hit less when he's in a division with Aaron Donald, J.J. Watt now. Who else is there?
Chandler Jones, Nick
Bosa. Forgot about him.
Yeah.
I mean, good luck, Russ. Okay. The 4 seeds, Tennessee Titans.
They're going to win the division.
Thanks to given.
That's a given.
Thanks to Carson Wentz.
Yeah. Jacob Eason fan club, but Tennessee is an elite offense.
Exactly. The Washington football team. They're probably going to win the division.
It's like hard.
It's the NFC East.
I agree. I don't trust bad quarterbacks. That's my issue. I don't trust bad quarterbacks. But this might be the year Fitzpatrick makes the playoffs.
Who knows? He could do it. And if not, they have Taylor Heineke. The 5 seeds. The Baltimore Ravens.
Whoa!
Oh boy!
Okay. Before Stefan, let me be totally honest. I can understand your reason. I just think Baltimore's schedule is so workable that every single hard game is at home, excluding division games. Every single one of their hard games is on the road, and every single one of the games they should win. Every single one of their hard games, Packers, Rams, Chiefs, all at home. all of their easier games are on the road. So like Denver, you should beat Denver. Vegas, you should beat Vegas. Miami, you should beat Miami. Sorry, Dolphins fans. Detroit, Chicago, same thing. So talent-wise, team-wise, I can see the Ravens not being a top 7 team, but I think the schedule is so in Baltimore's favor that it's going to be hard for them to lose a million games, unless they're really, really bad. But I think with John Harbaugh, there's a high enough floor. Like we saw in 2015 that the Ravens lost like over half of their roster to the IR. They still won 5 games. They still beat Pittsburgh twice. And this is a Pittsburgh team that was a play away from going to the AFC title game, not just a random Pittsburgh team. Sure. Stefan, let's hear it.
I just think that the defense takes a notch back, not pass-wise, just overall, because they took a step back from 2 years ago. They were almost at the top 5. They were really good. And you said they weren't 14th last year.
Around the top so 2018 they were number 1 in total defense, number 2 in scoring. 2019 they were 3rd in scoring, 4th in total defense, and then last year I think they ended up 2nd in scoring and like 6th in total defense.
Okay, so I mean the offense will be there. Lamar Jackson, Gus Edwards.
It's such a high floor. That's my thing.
And it's hard. I mean, it wasn't like it's not like, oh yeah, they're gonna miss it. It's more like I feel like they're gonna lose 1 or 2 games they're not supposed to lose in critical moments because of that defense, and that's why they don't get in. It's not like they're gonna go like 4 wins. I still think they're like a week 17, like the last 2 week kind of a team where they need to win out.
Something has to go horribly wrong.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
I just think that defense will be the reason for that, and that's why.
I mean, you have such a high floor, and as I mentioned, a lot of teams don't prioritize run defense, so you're not gearing up to beat Baltimore. You're gearing up to beat the rest of the league. So when Baltimore comes in and runs for 300 yards down your throat, I don't think a lot of teams care. Now, they don't like losing. I'm not going to say they like losing. I'm not going to say they want to be like killed. But if you're Denver, Las Vegas, Chargers, Packers, Vikings, Lions, Bears, Dolphins, etc., unless you're in the division, you're not competing with Baltimore necessarily. You're competing really more so with Kansas City and Tampa, right? Baltimore runs so counter to the rest of the league that they just pick up these wins, and they beat a Houston team that went to the playoffs by 35. They beat these teams that on paper the Rams are probably better than the Ravens. The Packers are probably better than the Ravens, but the Packers don't have a great run defense. The Rams have Aaron Donald, but don't have a great run defense around Aaron Donald. And it's like, I understand the pushback, but I think Baltimore does have a really high floor, and I tend to lean more good team at home tends to win. So I can see it. I can see Baltimore missing the playoffs, and I would be really sad. But I would right now. I think Baltimore makes it. If I had to put money on it, I would say yes. But I would put the money on the under and I don't think they win 12 games. I would say under 11.5.
Okay, next team, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
All right.
It took you a second there. I was like,
I was like, I expected to beat him in the Super Bowl, to be honest.
Okay, real quick, I have to address this chat. Avery, I fully understand your point about A'Shaun Robinson. He's got to prove it, though. He did not stand out last year like he was supposed to. People were talking about how he was supposed to be a big asset to our pass rush last year. I didn't really see it. I saw more with Leonard Floyd and Michael Brockers than I did with A'Shaun Robinson. Michael Brockers is gone.
I miss him.
This is his chance to step up. This is A'Shaun Robinson's chance to step up and prove that he will be a beast. I hope he can do it. The sample size in LA, though, just isn't really quite there yet. So,
and I do want to throw it out that Robinson is a pretty good run defender, but the way that Baltimore runs, it really doesn't matter how good your run defense is. The Jets had the best run defense most of 2019, if not all of 2019, and they got blitzkrieged by Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. It's just such a different scheme. Like San Francisco, same thing. And Tennessee usually does the same thing, that if you have elite scheme, so San Francisco and Baltimore, if you have elite players, Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, or if you have an elite offensive line, Browns, you can overcome these things. You have to have, like, if we had a Baltimore versus Tampa, just run offense versus run defense, that's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of TFLs. There's going to be a lot of big plays. That is a lot of fun to watch. But unless you're Tampa, unless you're the Jets, I don't think you're going to have an elite run defense. And I think Baltimore, if Baltimore always has this really high baseline because of what they do on the ground. They killed Pittsburgh last year, and Pittsburgh has a pretty good run defense. They have an awesome defense in general. They have TJ Watt is awesome against the run. Stephon Tuitt is awesome against the run. Cam Hayward's awesome against the run. Their linebackers are willing tacklers. Their corners and safeties are willing tacklers. Minka has improved dramatically as a tackler in his career. Baltimore killed them on the ground, even with RG3. So both times with RG3. So Baltimore has such a high floor as a rushing attack that you have to have either force Baltimore to totally pass and just go hands off like Buffalo did. Just go hands off, say, all right, we're going to put so many guys in the box that mathematically you're going to have a harder time running. But I don't know. And even then, Baltimore had a pretty good run game that day.
We should probably move on. I actually closed the tab. Give me one moment. The 6 seeds, Cleveland Browns.
Oh, yeah. I have them upsetting the Chiefs in the first round.
Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, I can see it.
I can see it. That should be a fun game.
Right. Yeah.
We kind of just talked.
I think the Browns are more of a lock, if you will, to make the playoffs. I think Baltimore is a slightly higher floor. But
I think we kind of talked about.
I do have money on the Browns winning the playoff. Winning the division.
Winning in the playoffs. There you go. LA Rams.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't been.
We kind of talked about it. But they're more than likely going to be back. Stafford is a beast in camp, by the way. I mean, it is camp. We've had this conversation before. It is camp, but his long balls are just so impressive. Oh my goodness. Van Jefferson too looks insane. This could be a breakout year for him if he keeps that up. The 7 seeds, Indianapolis Colts.
Love you, Jacob Eason, but
I know we're on the Jacob Eason fan.
Yeah, I'm like the Patriots are gaining steam a little bit, so it's hard for me to go up on. What did I do? I went up on 5, went tiebreaker with Pittsburgh. I think just one of the AFC East teams gets in, whether it's Miami or New England. You think of the Chargers in there. If Drew Lock isn't cancer, like maybe Denver. So
all right, last one.
Hey, Avery, I could see it.
Yeah.
We've talked in length about Jacob Eason and how well we think he can play. But it's a tough division. You're not going to win the division. I don't think you're going to beat Tennessee.
You're a wild card team, if anything.
That would be a miracle if they won the division. Okay, last team. Chicago Bears.
Minnesota replaces them. Pretty simple.
Fair enough. All right, there you go. That's it for thumbs up, thumbs down.
Beautiful.
We moving on to hot takes?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do some hot takes. Let me pull it up on my cellular.
While he's getting that up, by the way, we should briefly touch on some pretty big news that happened, and it's not a sport we usually cover here, but soccer news happened lately that kind of shook the whole landscape. Lionel Messi leaving Barcelona and going to PSG. What do we think?
As a PSG fan, cool. I just want to win a Champions League, man. We had the rough loss to Bayern I guess it was last year in the Champions League final. Of course, you have the heartbreaking game on my birthday against Barcelona. Go up 4-0 at the Camp Nou, and then lose 6-1 at home on my birthday.
Still hurts, huh?
Yeah.
Pain.
Lose in the semifinal this year. So it's so weird that I'm going to be rooting for Lionel Messi, but okay.
And he's wearing number 30, which is
throwback. I would have preferred him to wear 19.
Yeah, I mean, he was nice enough to let Neymar keep the number, so
yeah,
that's true.
That's ultra sportsmanship, But
all right, let's roll through these. All right,
do we have the hot take meter?
Oh, no.
We need to bring that up real fast. Hold on.
Okay. Oops. Technical difficulties. Oh, Juan Soto hit a home run. Congratulations to my fantasy team. Shout out to my grandmother.
Play fantasy basketball or baseball. That's something I would never touch. I feel like
when I'm in college, I have an alarm set every morning to like check my fantasy team.
Mm-hmm.
Are you getting it up or?
Can you get it up, por favor?
Yeah, hold on.
Like in our fantasy league, it's a little goofy that you kind of need some streamers, so you need to like you actually need to check it every day. It's a mix. It depends on what league, what kind of scoring you do. There's a lot of variables that go into it.
I've always just I've adopted basketball like 3 years ago, and now football I've had it almost over 10 years. So I just look at it and like I try to enter like a fantasy draft. I didn't know what I was doing and who I was picking, and everyone was like, "What is this guy doing?" I'm like, "I don't know what I'm doing," so I just left and never went back.
I picked Kevin Biggio in the first round of a dynasty league.
Full screen this, yes, I can.
I got you, Dave.
Oh, that doesn't work.
Such a tragedy. That should be
there
okay.
You go.
Right?
That's fine. Okay, you can still read it.
So we got FTV 1939. Water is 80% wet.
I mean, it's either 100% wet or it's not. So.
I don't know. I mean, we could argue that. I don't know. Every week we try to figure this out. It just doesn't.
I actually am playing Tixa this week.
Oh.
Please, can you send me a screenshot when you can? I want to see what a final score looks like at the end. I'm just very curious.
Okay. Yeah. What is it? At the Bursch on U Stadium?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tixa, when the show is over, send him a message or send him a group. Send him a picture of our last matchup when I beat you. Ooh, saucy.
And then this week's one if you're playing him again. So
yeah, because it's only 2 days in. So, all right, Mount Becton. Aaron Donald is top 10.
Pepper X. Are you kidding me? No, I'm just kidding. No, Aaron Donald's not top 10 because he's top 1.
It's like 2% milk, or like what's the something
like skim milk?
Not
even like good milk. I do like almond milk. Like coconut milk.
I'm drinking rice milk right now.
Yeah, well, rice milk. There we go.
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
It's good. It's good.
How high would you rank Aaron Donald all time?
And defense.
That is a good question.
Like defensive line, I think he's pretty clearly top 10. Defensive players, is he a top 10 defensive player?
I think so. I think so because you don't hear about his position or that many defensive like in terms of like defense as a whole. Yeah, I think he's top 10 all time because you don't hear about like interior linemen as much as you do Aaron Donald.
That's fair.
And
it's ridiculous.
Knives.
Trains with knives.
He does train with knives. Yeah, I think there's an argument that he might be a top 10 defensive player ever. He does have 3 defensive player of the years. That's only LT and JJ Watt. So there's that. This is from Larkin. Lamar Jackson is a top 3 quarterback in football with actual wide receivers.
Another Ravens debate.
Sorry, Splash, but
I don't know. It's hard to. I don't think he's. With the way that Josh Allen improved and the way that Deshaun Watson was just so ridiculously consistent last year, I think his cap is like 5 right now. So if Aaron Rodgers takes a step back, if Josh Allen is less consistent, or if Deshaun Watson just goes to Mars, then maybe. I don't know. I think Jackson certainly has top 3 talent. I just don't know if it's such a talented league of quarterbacks. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and it's for a long time. It was the Andy Dalton line, how good your quarterback was. If you're better than Dalton, you have like a borderline elite quarterback. If you're worse than Dalton, figure it out. That Andy Dalton line, like the Andy Dalton of quarterbacks, is like 23rd now. He used to be 15th. So, an elite level quarterback, you might have 7 or 8 guys that are elite quarterbacks, which is crazy to think about.
Okay.
All right. AV22. I gave him the wrong time again for when we get to hot takes. When healthy, the Yankees have the 2nd best roster in baseball.
I mean, yes. I mean, they have to. I don't know. LA is. I don't know.
I would take the Dodgers and Astros.
The Dodgers are like.
Yeah. I would take Dodgers and Astros. Yankees 3 though. That's fine.
1.
You have Voit, LeMahieu, Torres has been awful this year. Urshela. I'm sure you could probably put. Oh, then you have Rizzo too. Then you have Judge, Stanton, Hicks, Gary, Kluber when healthy. Tyone's been awesome the last month. I don't know. I think, and then you throw the White Sox in there too. Their rotation's awesome. They have a really good lineup as well. So I think the Yankees are certainly top 5. Number 2 is a stretch for me. I think the Astros are better. Antifa Rich, the Jaguars win the South this year.
Whew.
That's a hot take.
Well, I didn't just listen to that.
I would say habanero. I said 9%
habanero
chance a couple weeks
that.
ago. Okay, Colomeo. Apple pie is the best dessert.
I've never had apple pie before, so I wouldn't know.
What?
Maybe I have once. I don't remember. It was probably like a long, long time ago. I don't remember.
Woo.
I haven't had. I know. I'm on Jack. We're on the same page.
How?
Again, it was probably like a long time ago.
And I just never I guess my family never cooked it because I kind of come from a European household, so it was always like those kind of other stuff. But I just never had the opportunity. I don't go to McDonald's.
Wait a minute. Neither of you have had apple pie before?
No.
I don't remember. I'm trying to say I don't remember. I don't know.
What? How? Oh my. That okay. You know what? How?
I don't know.
Okay. You know what? I okay. Hear me out. I understand.
I
I understand. I'm sure there's food. How? Tiksa, how? I'm sure there are some foods that I've never had that you guys have had, and probably would be shocked to learn that I've never had. Apple pie, though? That's weird, man. That's weird. All right. We're moving on from that.
Move on, please.
Tyler White.
Julio
will have more touchdowns this season than he has ever had in any other season of his career. His career high is 10. Does he get to 11?
I can see it 100%.
No.
But AJ Brown might be the guy who gets 13.
Yeah.
14.
I can see it. But I'm going to go with no because the Titans are going to run the football with Derrick Henry like crazy. And then AJ Brown is probably the number 1 guy there. I like Julio. I think he's going to have a good year. I don't think he gets to 10 though. Based on the way the offense is built.
I can see it though because only look how Mike Evans had his year. He had almost career low in catches, but he still had 1,000 and had 13 touchdowns. I think Julio could be that guy.
This comment is funny because
I've never had cherry pie either.
Oh my goodness! Oh, cherry pie is a banger. Okay.
See, now I'm gonna have to go down and just get I'm getting messages. I just feel bad now. I have to have apple pie and cherry pie.
Come on now. Oh man.
I've never been attacked so much.
My goodness. I thought my takes were the worst. I thought my power ranking was going to be the worst. Little did I know, neither of you have had apple pie. Whoa. That was from left field. All right. I actually think Julio, I would bet the over on Julio's touchdown production. I get the AJ Brown and Derrick Henry. I get it. I totally understand. But that's yards. That's moving the chains. That's between the 20s. That's total
fair.
catches for AJ
That's
Brown.
actually fair.
Julio Jones. Now I don't want to say he's a better red zone threat than AJ Brown because I've seen what AJ Brown can do to my cornerbacks, and I have PTSD from what he does to Marlon Humphrey. But with that said, Julio's gonna have a lot of opportunities. It's just a matter of cashing them in, and I think Julio at this point is good enough. So how have you never? Okay, Tiksa, come on now. Pumpkin pie. I don't like pumpkin. That's my defense.
I've had pumpkin pie at least once.
I don't like pumpkin. So
this whole segment turned into a pie discussion.
I've never. Oh, come on, Austin.
Oh boy.
Oh, okay. You know what? Let's finish these hot takes, and then I can just cry. When we're doing the Jets show in a little bit, I'm just gonna be massaging my temples. How have you never had apple pie?
I'm gonna have apple pie next week on the show. If you know what, we do that.
Okay. Either push-ups or apple pie.
I will do both. I will attempt the 69 push-ups next week on the show.
Okay.
And I will eat a piece of apple pie on the show next week. And you will get my genuine live reaction from what I think.
Takes it. If you've eaten pizza, it's pie. Yeah, it technically counts as pie. So
peach pie. This is the life of pie. And then Hershey's pie is good. My grandmother had some key lime pie the other day at like this fancy restaurant we went to. That was pretty exciting. Ooh, Noah, gun to your head, how many pies could you eat in 20 minutes? Now, how big of a pie are we talking about?
Like
are we
slices
talking,
or actual pies?
No,
like,
actual pie.
Like, I don't know, 2? I don't know. Ooh, that's a lot of crust.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. You know what? We can have that discussion another time. Blade PT says, N'Keal Harry will be the number 3 wide receiver, beating out Jacoby Myers.
I could see it.
I don't know. I don't love it. I am going to be honest. I did like Harry coming out of ASU. I was wrong on that. He hasn't shown anything in the NFL. I don't really see it. So yeah, with that said, one last hot take. We have Dane. Texans will not win the Super Bowl.
This is a mind-blowing hot take. Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
Let me quickly let's see. What is hotter? What WHAT is hotter than Pepper X? Oh, that's Z.
Carolina Reaper, Pepper X.
What is hotter than? Oh, okay. Here we go. The Apollo Pepper is a hybrid between the 2 hottest creations of Smoke and Ed until now. The Carolina Reaper, still holding the Guinness World Record as the hottest pepper, and Pepper X, unofficially the hottest pepper in the world. It should pass the 3 million Scoville unit.
Oh my god.
That's a lot.
Your tongue's gone.
Yeah. So
yeah,
we actually might need to add the Apollo Pepper to the top of this.
Maybe.
If we can get a hot take that's good, that caliber, we should add it.
Yeah, we might have to.
If we ever actually get a hot take.
Like someone has to give us one.
Yep, Teeksa, that's dub.
Yes,
dub,
yes.
Dub,
W.
Dub,
W.
Dub. Dub. Plot twist: the Texans win.
I'd laugh.
I'd
cry because that means that our team's lost.
I would get a Texans tattoo. Like, give me I will get one right here if they win the Super Bowl. What? Like, no. It's not gonna in any reality that we live in the million realities that we might have, there's not one out of 14,655,000 that they win.
Good callback.
And on that note,
and we have one more hot take. Henry will have 18 plus touchdowns. I mean, I can see it. There's going to be a lot of touchdowns scored in that Tennessee offense.
I think so.
So, with that said, guys, we're gonna have a little bit of a longer outro, but that's okay. That's okay. First off, make sure you smash that like button, hit it with the hammer. Hit it with a sledgehammer, if you will. Follow U Stadium on Twitter and Instagram. We are actually working on a Sports Desk branded Twitter and Instagram. That should hopefully be out next Tuesday. We're also working on a Sports Desk branded Venmo. So if you want to donate to the channel and you don't want to be in the comments like on the screen and you just want to say, hey, Splash, Jack, Stefan, here's $5. Thank you for making my Tuesdays better. We would appreciate it. We'll have a Venmo set up very soon. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. Scroll through some of our content. Hit the like button. Engage in the comments. I did a Bengals video the other day. Follow. I think we have a TikTok. Follow U Stadium on TikTok.
Hey, go ahead.
Good stuff.
I didn't know we had a TikTok.
Make sure you like the shorts that Frankie puts up. Smash those likes.
Thank you to everybody that donated to us. Everybody.
Yeah, let me do a little. Let me see if I can run through again. The Titans aren't a top 10 team. Their defense is okay. Oh wow, I can't scroll back far enough. That sucks. Okay. Oh well. Okay. Shout out to Avery.
Was going off today, by the way.
Shout out to Avery. You're the GOAT. Even though I disagree with some of your sports opinions, that's okay. With that said, thank you guys for donating. It is much appreciated. It will go into getting me a better webcam, and if Frankie gets his wish, it would go into getting me a haircut. Ironically enough. With that said, any last words, Jack and Stefan?
I just want to shout out to Tegan because he donated under Peyton's name. So first shout out to him. Thank you. Other than that, like I said, next week I'll try apple pie and I will try the 69 push-ups.
69 push-ups. I don't
Nice.
know. I don't know if I nice. I don't know if I could do 69 push-ups.
If I could do 45, I'll be amazed.
Yeah. I forget I don't know. I don't think I have like push-up strength. It's like I don't think I can do the proper push-up motion.
I
Like
can't
none
do
of my
it.
PE teachers never taught me like
My
hey,
skinny
hey
arms.
Ryan, this is how you do the push-up. I'm like, I'm doing it wrong. Like, okay. Yeah.
I can't do it.
I feel you there. With that said, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope we brought some happiness to your life for 90 minutes. Or, hey, you could be a Titans fan and be going off, like typing angry messages to me on Twitter. And I wouldn't.
Once we get our own Twitter, people are gonna be yelling at us there. So
Give us
that'll be
everything
fun.
you want. Yeah.
20th. I still can't believe they're 20th. Really? And the 13th ranked Bills. I get the Bills, but with that said, peace out, ladies and gentlemen, and remember, Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald
with
trains with
Thank you,
knives.
nice.